it becomes a part of your daily life, you know?
Sometimes you just can't leave a good role behind. These are 15 method actors who stayed in character while on set.
I did stay in character on set with everybody.
Number 1. It's hard not to lose yourself in the dark. For his role in Dahmer, showrunner Ryan Murphy said that Evan Peters stayed in character for months.
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
He created a 45-minute audio composite of Dahmer's voice that he listened to every day to get his speech patterns right.
I'm just trying to say I'm sorry. Is she gonna open your gift?
And to nail Dahmer's rigid posture, he wore lead weights in his shoes and around his arms. Evan Peters has spoken about how much he appreciated the crew's support, comparing them to being a ray of light amidst the darkness.
I felt like everybody was so protective, you know, all of you guys when we were working together, I felt very comfortable and safe.
Number 2. Lady Gaga has a great poker face. She felt as though she'd truly lived as Reggiana for a year and a half while filming House of Gucci, and she spoke with an Italian accent for 9 months, even among her own family.
If I were to call you on the phone, I would have spoken to you just like this.
Director Ridley Scott said that he almost forgot those weren't her real mannerisms.
This is serious.
But there were some negative side effects. Close to the end of filming, Lady Gaga went for a walk through Italy, and as she described it, I panicked. I thought I was on a movie set. Number 3. You couldn't even call her Nicole. Nicole Kidman told a Television Critics Association panel that she'd only respond to Masha on the set for 9 Perfect Strangers. She said that she wanted a very calm, healing energy to emanate all the time, and so she remembers going over to people and sort of putting my hand on their heart or holding their hand on set. When James Cordon asked if she would act like Masha at home, she answered,
Sometimes at home. Yeah. Don't ask.
Number 4. It's tough being the boss. Meryl Streep never broke character on set for The Devil Wears Prada, and she was so miserable that she'd proclaim, "That's the last time I ever attempted a method thing." Emily Blunt would say that Meryl is so gregarious and fun that it was a bit of a letdown, her having to remove herself. Anne Hathaway admitted that she found Streep intimidating, but said she appreciated her guidance, because I also knew she was watching out for me.
She's very generous, you know. She was not, I don't think, scared of me.
Number 5. This role had him all shook up. Austin Butler had to go to the hospital the day after filming finished for Elvis, claiming that he woke up with excruciating pain. And he suffered a bit of an identity crisis afterward.
Then I flew to London to have to film something else, and I was just going, I don't know who I am, I don't know what's going on, you know?
Apparently, his voice had changed so much for the role that he told GQ, "My family said I didn't sound like me anymore." But Butler admits that he still listens to plenty of Elvis music, adding, "I've never loved somebody I've never met more than Elvis." Number 6. Ashton Kutcher spent 3 months living like Steve Jobs. He read all the books that Jobs loved, agonized over the walk, and even followed Steve Jobs' fruitarian diet, which would apparently sometimes consist of nothing but grapes. Ashton Kutcher wound up going to the hospital twice with pancreatitis. 2 weeks before filming had even started.
Like the ghost of Steve Jobs is like taking over my bank.
But fortunately, he had Mila Kunis to get him back on track. So fact check, yes, it was really dumb. Number 7. Joaquin Phoenix went so meta, he tanked his own career. The mockumentary I'm Still Here follows his own retirement from acting and subsequent launch into hip-hop. But most people who heard about it thought he was actually retiring. Not only that, but the movie bombed so badly he wouldn't act again for another 2 years. Still, Phoenix went on to refer to the mockumentary as an amazing experience, explaining that it allowed me to be bold in my decisions instead of being safe. Number 8. She may have gotten a little carried away. Margot Robbie told Vulture that there was a time on set for I, Tonya, where I genuinely forgot that we were on a film set and that I wasn't Tonya and that he wasn't Jeff, referring to Sebastian Stan. She went on to describe a time that the two of them were acting out a brawl, and they were just so in character that she'd later recall to Sebastian Stan, "I think I punched you in the side of the head."
I think we kind of lost our minds sometimes on set.
Number 9. You probably shouldn't follow Christian Bale's diet tips. He lost 63 pounds for his role in The Machinist, living on a diet of black coffee, a can of tuna, and an apple a day. Immediately afterward, he bulked up for his role in Batman Begins, admitting that he was ignoring advice about taking it slowly. Bale's weight would continue to fluctuate for multiple roles afterward, even jumping to 228 pounds for American Hustle. But he's since told Men's Health, "I've become a little bit more boring now because I'd prefer not to die." Number 10. Beauty isn't easy. For My Week with Marilyn, Michelle Williams practiced walking like Marilyn Monroe by tying a belt around her knees and going around wearing tight dresses, high heels, and push-up bras. She binge-watched her movies, read Marilyn's autobiographies, and even downloaded interviews with Marilyn onto her iPod to listen to for months. But this did come with its emotional cost. Michelle Williams would tell Newsweek, "I don't think I ever cried so much for somebody I didn't know." Number 11. This role almost made her quit. Angelina Jolie preferred to stay in character at all times during her earlier career, but this took its toll during the filming of Gia. Angelina distanced herself from then-husband Johnny Lee Miller, telling him, "I'm alone, I'm dying, I'm gay, I'm not going to see you for weeks." She even briefly gave up acting afterward, feeling that she had nothing else to give. Looking back on the role years later, Angelina would say, "I was so sad for her. Playing a real person you identify with and can feel makes you feel a responsibility." Number 12. The end credits were right to list Teddy Perkins as himself. Donald Glover immersed himself so much into the role of Teddy Perkins for episode 6 of Atlanta that co-star Derek Haywood hardly even recognized him, telling Vulture, "There was no Donald on set whatsoever, I kid you not." Teddy Perkins even made an appearance in the crowd at the Emmys, prompting tweets like, "Did I just see Donald Glover as Teddy Perkins at the Emmys?" But as of yet, the identity of the actor is yet to be confirmed. Number 13. He became an entirely different person. Jim Carrey would say that during the 4 months of filming for Man on the Moon, pretty much from when I woke up to when I went to bed, the choices were all Kaufman's. Co-star Paul Giamatti would recall it as one of the weirdest experiences I've had making a movie. He said that Carrey would keep Limburger cheese in his pockets and that he was constantly touching and hugging people on set with the smelly cheese on his hands. Number 14. Imagine being on set with a military dictator. For his role in The Last King of Scotland, Forrest Whitaker spent 3 months living in Uganda, learning to speak Swahili, and even spent time living with Idi Amin's family. David Oyelowo referred to Whitaker's tendency to remain in character both on and off set as a nightmare, recalling one incident when he met him in a Ugandan hotel.
And I said, "Oh, hi, Forrest," and he went, literally.
But end of day, he added that the performance was worth it. Number 15. Kate Winslet is no stranger to method acting. It apparently took her months to get over her role from the reader, saying, "It's like I've escaped from a serious car accident and need to understand what has just happened." But it was her role in Ammonite that may have taken things too far. This time, Winslet lived in an isolated cabin during filming, describing it as so ratty and cold that she'd lie there thinking, "Kate, what are you doing? Just go to the hotel with everybody else." You can plainly see how all of these actors cared deeply for their craft. Which actors' methods did you think were the most extreme? Make sure to let us know in the comments.